没有再见嘛？
对，所以他没有再见，然后代表说他有很多打席会一直累积那个再见打席的机会。
对，12局以后累积再见打席的机会就完全没有，
全部都没有。对，
但是美国职棒是可能发生的。
对，而且一次累积会累积蛮多的。
对，你看像这个Garcia Parra，他前面举到蓝鸟队那场比赛，就一场比赛15局就24个可能出现再见的打席。
因为你一旦有出现，可能会一直很多，可能有好多比赛可能都不会出现。
没错。所以非常感谢新店 Garcia Parra， 他帮我们算了这件事情，所以
前方
某种程度上已经解开了大部分的谜团了。就是这个再见的机会，真的相对来讲是比一局上的这个首局受打席的机会是多出来的。
主要的盲点就是再见全垒打出现那个打席的机会，其实是一直在增加的，而且一次增加会增加很多。
但是每一场比赛就一定就只有一局上的手打席，
对。可是他每一场比赛都会有，
可是相比下来，累积数据下来是再见的这个打席数是比较多的。好，最后呢是 Oliver Yan 1989，他有补充其他的部分，就是除了再见全垒打以外，他还有补充其他的部分。第一个是香港棒球文化，他说讨论到香港的棒球文化都是用英文来称呼各位置等啊。节目中谈到是因为一开始将棒球带到香港的前辈所影响。他想更重要的是，香港跟台湾棒球最大的差异还是因为殖民国的差异。在过去日本殖民之下，台湾棒球从基层到职业一路至今，台湾棒球场上的种种自然受到日本的影响。香港则被英国殖民，各种文化上还是贴近英国。当然，近年有开始一些转变，例如受到英国殖民的影响有什么呢？像是香港足球盛行嘛，棒球比较没有人打，而场上各种术语指令都是讲英文，应该也是很合理。
可这个我不同意耶，因为其实在香港的棒球文化主要还是日本人过去推的。
对，
所以照理来讲，它应该会跟台湾比较类似。就是当然日文里面很多什么 pitcher， 听起来其实是 pitcher 嘛，只是它是用日文的日式的英文发音，然后台湾比较多人是这样用，所以我觉得这个是比较特别。我觉得他的这个说法我不能接受，
但我觉得两者都有影响。我觉得不会只有一件事情影响，因为香港它以前就真的，现在应该还是英文他们的算是教育过程当中使用的语言，对啊，就是
他们至少这个普及的程度会比台湾高。
他们算是双语教育吧，就是还是就用，反正英文就是他们会拿来教育的一个使用的语言这样子。那我是觉得这会影响嘛，因为我们以前台湾的教育都是用中文嘛，那如果你平常的教育是用英文的话，那你势必会影响到你平常使用的语言习惯。那对，也许这些来自台湾或者是受到日式棒球影响的这些前辈到香港推广棒球，会加入日本文化的因素。可是因为他自己语言使用习惯的关系，他可能还是会加入一些英文的元素在里面。
还有一个我觉得比较大的关键是，他们这样中文化的资料相对少，
对啊，
所以他们必须来源就是看英文，因为相对起来，日文跟英文还是普及很多，所以他们会去用英文的东西来吸收。就像我之前当工程师的时候。你很多术语你讲不出中文，对，因为你是看英文的资料，所以你只能用英文的术语去表达。
他们更习惯就是直接看英文的规则书，而且英文规则书也很完整。那我直接来看，那就比较快的可以吸收。对于他们来讲，
对，他们可能也没有什么像我们讲，他们讲大联盟，他们讲 major，
对，
他们一军他们有讲 major， 二军他们直接讲 minor， 可是我们就是可能比较常用，所以已经有一个中文的对应的词。
而且一军、二军也是日文的
对啊，
其实是日文影响我们的，对。所以我想 Oliver 他讲的这个也有道理，但是 Adam 你讲的那个就是前辈去影响他们棒球文化，这两者我觉得都有关系。接下来是以上场球员的 free substitution， 我们之前在听众信箱有聊到，他说非常感谢两位带来非常具有知识量的讨论。小时候第一次在电视上看到棒球，对于球员下场后不能再上场这一件事情，一开始也感到非常惊讶。其余在节目上的讨论也已经非常完整。听完两位的讨论之后，我认为接下来10年到20年内，大联盟很有可能开放每场1人次有限制的 free substitution， 就是可以再上场这件事情。且这一个人次不包含任何投手，限定先发球员再上，只有先发球员可以再上场。那他有写出他的原因，他说推动这样子有限制的 free substitution 主要的目的是保护球员啦。对于投手来说，才刚使用过、燃烧过的手臂，在休息后还要再上场是很大的风险，所以不可以允许投手换掉之后再上场。那这就是他前面提出这个条件的理由。那在野手的部分，两位有提到跟10年前的差异，就是现在很多队都只带2名捕手，就是一个先发一个替补，然后替补上来的捕手只要一受伤，就可能要让非专业的捕手上场蹲捕，就紧急捕手。 那这对于该球员来说，其实也是把他们暴露在高风险当中啊，而且其实也对投手可能会有影响，因为蹲捕的人不是专业的捕手，所以未来有可能在某一次指标性的事件之后，调整成可以让一位先发的野手下场之后还可以再上场的一个可能性。他认为是捕手这个位置最有机会。至于为什么强调是先发球员呢？主要就是因为避免让非先发的这种只有快腿型的球员第二次带跑，在后段影响比赛太大，所以限定于先发球员。同样是以保护球员为主要目的，但因为棒球场上的不同的特性因此未来如果有 free substitution 的话，他认为只会限制给野手使用，而不像篮球那样，你任何人都可以 free substitution 这样子。所以感谢 Oliver Yan 他提供的补充啦，确实是有可能的我也觉得是有可能的，因为这个是以保护选手为主要目的的话，以现在大联盟他们愿意去接纳新规则的态度之下，我觉得未来也确实是有可能发生。
对，不过这样你可能安排打线的时候，我不晓得他如果是这样子换，你要不要同一个打序，你还是要同一个人吧，对不对？你不能替代别人，等于说你换了那一棒以后，你就必须还是下一棒再回来的话，你还是要回到那一棒。
就回到他原本先发的棒次里面，
不然会很怪，
会有，
不然我觉得有点差棒次了。
对，就是如果你要维持这个打序的这个一致性的话，
因为篮球没有打序啊，没有顺序的问题，
没有顺序问题，
所以他可以随便换，没有这个问题。但如果棒球有这个问题，你就是只能换那个原本的那个位置，就是打序中间那个位置，
不然他就会变成好像在 box score 上一个人占2个棒次的感觉。
对啊，
因为看起来就会变成
这个会有点怪，
就会有一点混乱的，因为你 box score 统计上就会非常困难。
对，
因为我们通常都是 box score 一横过来就是一列啦，一列就是那一个球员的数据。那他如果占2个位置的话，那就很复杂。
而且他这样，他没有提到说这样代打应该很有帮助。我觉得今天我是游击手，我打击能力不好，我就是那个关键的打击，我就派一个代打上去，然后把代打换下来以后，再游击手再上去。
对，就是可以进攻组跟守备组替换的概念，就是比如说这个人很会打，但他不太会守。好，那我前面5局的时候需要进攻的时候，我把他放在场上。那可能到6、7、8局。我已经有取得大概1-2分的领先，我让守备组替补他来守那3局，但是结果发现后来被追平，然后9局的时候我再把这个打成进攻比较好打的再换上。
所以如果是这样，我觉得搞不好推动目的是保护球员，这个反而比较没那么重要，反而变得比较极端。手背好的球员跟打击非常好的球员，手背很烂的球员，他会有工作可以做。
对，就是一定都会有考量啊，就是一开始利益的目的可能是以保护选手，听起来比较冠冕堂皇，但是应该也会有这种战术战绩的考量在。
就是我今天完全不能守备打者，有点像类 DH， 对，而且我还是替补的，我觉得没有那么强，但是我就类 DH，我就上去就专门帮你代打，然后你需要一棒的时候，我至少我的几率比较高。
对，就像 Max Muncy 或者是 Daniel Vogelback 这种，就是手背比较差的，像 Vogelback 他主要是打 DH，可是如果你今天 DH 要让其他人上，对不对？那我先把 Vogelback 摆在1垒，然后前面打个5局，然后中间换守备组，张育成上来守一下1垒，然后最后需要火力的时候再把 Vogelback 换上，而且可能换成了右投手，那张育成可能就不适合打右投，那就把 Vogelback 再换上，像类似这样
左右打这种调度也会出现，
一定会有 platoon 的概念，一定也会被运用到，对，所以确实要考量的东西蛮多。不过
教练应该会不赞成，
靠左，
太复杂，
然后左转。
我觉得这个还蛮有趣的，就是可以增加很多讨论。就是调度方面会有很多，而且总教练的这个职责就会更加的重要。
他变成说还要猜你会不会再上场，
没错。
以前不用，这个可能性完全没有。你下场就是下场，永远都不会再上场。就这一场比赛，你永远都不会再上场。
那可以写的文章，可以讨论的这个影片又更多了。
我觉得这样教练的这个就是他
烧脑了，
对他的调度变得太重要了。他我觉得可能有点太辛苦，变他的抉择，就是例如像篮球，他什么时候换谁上去很重要嘛。那个时间点很重要，可是棒球现在比较没有这个问题，他只有换下来。
但我觉得教练说辛苦，但是如果大联盟觉得这是一个好的，这个会提升比赛的有趣度、比赛的品质的话，他们搞不好也会考虑。
而这样人数名单人数就可以下降。
对啊，
应该会下降，
应该就是进一步再下降有可能。但是现在其实我觉得已经蛮紧绷的，如果他们在限制投手的话，对啊。好，这个礼拜的冷知识时间，蹭一下这个时事的热度啦。Matt Carpenter 不知道大家有没有注意到？他前几年已经打击率都1成多，在红雀队的时候，然后基本上就是被放弃了，就是也老了。但是他在今年加盟洋基之后呢，他前5支安打有4支是全垒打，成为洋基队史仅第3位，就是穿上洋基制服的前5支安打有4支是全垒打的球员。今天的冷知识就要来问大家，前面2位是谁呢？ 第一个我觉得太难了，所以我直接提供给大家。第一位是1977年的 Dave Kingman
之前在冷知识也有出现过，
他常出现，因为他的数据在那个年代真的太猎奇了，就是他很早期就是一个3纯数据，而且三振非常多的一个，
他就是领先这个时代可能不止30-40年的人，
对，30-40年的人走在
他未来
尖端，对他未来人真的是未来人。那第2位是谁呢？这是今天的冷知识啊，就是穿上洋基制服，前5支安打，4支是全垒打，这其实蛮困难的。好，我也给大家2个提示，第一个是他生涯期间也效力过蓝鸟队哦，而且曾经被视为是王建民的杀手。
这太简单了，
太简单，你听到这个应该就知道了，但我相信有些听众朋友可能不知道。然后第2个提示就让这个解答呼之欲出，他是2002年的美联新人王哦。相信这个2个条件加下去的话，大家应该就马上很多人应该可以猜到是谁。
他现在好像是某一个球队的打击教练吧？我没记错是。
但我有去看一下他维基，好像之前有被解雇，但好像还没找到新工作。对。但他后来是有当教练，这是肯定的。
对，而且是打击教练。
没错，他的打击能力算是蛮不错的，对，蛮不错的一个打者。所以洋基队史上只有3个。
继续执行。
Mike Carpenter 他是真的蛮厉害的啦，就是他在休赛季期间，他去改变了自己的挥棒。
对，然后他被游骑兵牵走啊，游骑兵整个把他放弃掉了。
一开始是在游骑兵的3A 啦，然后他在3A 出赛，就是今年开季他是在游骑兵3A 的这个地方出赛，21战就打出了6轰，所以其实数据是非常理想，可以看出改变。可是游骑兵可能觉得还是留给年轻人去打，因为他们现在算是重建要往上爬的一支球队。你给 Matt Carpenter 这样子已经很老的球员，没有什么未来性的球员，你给他打击数其实意义不大。
而且就是3垒可以守备了，
对，
搞不好3垒还不太行，
对吧？而且开季的时候游骑兵状况不好，他们可能也想说，那就不要。因为如果你要让 Matt Carpenter 出赛的话，应该是那种我需要即战力，我马上就要有好的表现的这样子的情况。
现在应该蛮后悔的，
对吧？现在可能觉得说啊，我们好像需要这个 Carpenter 这个棒子，因为我们战绩打起来了。那2月份其实 Ken Rosenthal 就是 Juju Roll 他就有写一篇关于 Carpenter 的休赛季的转变，其实蛮好看的。大家如果有机会的话，可以去看一下。他去问了 Joey Votto， 就是问他说，你怎么样在球员生涯的中后段去扭转自己的生涯？然后他就。Votto 有给他一些建议，就是调整自己的打击的方式、挥击模式的改变，而且 Carpenter 还有去采纳很多最新的棒球科技，比如说穿戴式的东西，像这种 blast motion 类似那种东西，
追踪在球棒上面装一个追踪器，
追踪他的一些挥棒的数据，不管是角度啦或者是速度这样子，然后还有用3D 摄影机来记录他的这个挥棒的动作，来调整他的挥棒机制跟球棒运行的轨迹，基本上。其实概念跟我们之前 MVP 制造机讲到的很像，就是让球棒的挥棒的轨迹可以更长时间的停留在这个好球带里面。
对，会这个接触到球的几率比较高，
所以收到了不错的效果，至少到目前为止。Carpenter 他是有去问 Votto 他是怎么改变的，然后后面用这些科技，当然 Votto 其实也有用科技去调整他的打击，可是今年Votto我觉得4月份他只是一个低潮，他后面打回来了，所以最近1个月他其实 OPS 又回到他过去就是去年的
5月有加温
，5月加温蛮多的，所以我只是觉得那是一个低潮。那 Carpenter 我觉得他是有明显的改变，所以整体来讲他的这个数据的基准，大家要把它往上调，因为他是有做一些技术的调整，而不再是过去前2年的那一个打击率1成多的 Matt Carpenter。
我看了一下，其实现在 Joey Votto 现在今年的 OPS Plus 才81耶，还蛮惨的。
之前好像才30-40而已吧，最惨的时候非常非常糟糕，
超差。
对，就是可能花了一点时间去调整他的状况这样子。好，那 Carpenter 的这个冷知识，我们在主节目之后再来跟大家揭晓。好，这个礼拜我们要聊的时事呢，第一个其实也跟洋基队有一个擦边的关系啦。
很有关系吧？
右转
，Joe Girardi 嘛 ，Joe Girardi 过去带洋基带了非常久，但是他来到费城人之后，并没有过得很顺畅。那他在美国时间6月3号的比赛之前，就被费城人宣布炒鱿鱼啦。哇 ，Joe Girardi 在带了这个费城人2个算2020年算。
但2020年其实我觉得对他来讲蛮不公平的，
对，
因为那个球季等于对大家来讲都不是一个正常的球季，他也没办法正常展现他的功力，就60场而已。
所以你说2个半嘛，好像只有1个半的感觉哦，1
个半，
对吧？好，反正就这个技术上来讲，就是2个半的球季嘛，甚至还不到半，2又1/3的球季，2又1/3的球季就被解雇了。 那他们让原本的板凳教练 Rob Thompson 来代替这个总教练的位置，那是暂代总教练。但是 Dave Dombrowski 他们的棒球事务总裁说 ，Thompson 他会做到球季结束，
这蛮像统一师的操作，
有点像。那本来
他们什么教练最强？代理总教练最强。
对，大饼
对，他是2020年拿冠军的时候，他还是代理总教练，
还是代理总教练，
应该是夺冠以后他就争取。
对，因为他在夺冠那一年，他的那个殴打单永远是写林岳平代，对，然后后来才征出成就是真正的总教练。那 Rob Thompson 目前还是一个代理总教练的一个角色。那除此之外，他们还解雇了这个教练的助理 Bobby Meacham， 然后还把原本的品管教练 Mike Calitri 拔擢到板凳教练的一职。不过我觉得蛮有趣的是，他原本是当品管教练，就是 Quality Control 嘛，Quality Assurance。但他显然是没有把这个 quality control 好嘛，没有 assure 好。
我觉得这只是一个萝卜一个坑吧，需要有人来补上来。
对啦，就只是职称的问题而已。那其实我第一个看到这个新闻的想法是，现在季中的这个换总教练其实蛮少见的，就是尤其是在6月初球季过了大概1/3之后才更换总教练，这个在近年来比较少见。近年来比较多见的是换什么打击教练、投手教练，季中很多，对不对？之前大都会队就把 Chili Davis 炒掉，
太多，就每年都有。
但总教练是比较少，季中的总教练更换。那我也去查了一下，像最近的比较近的就是2018年 Mike Matheny，红雀队打了93场比赛之后他被换掉，至
少比 Joe Girardi 多很多。
对，他那个是已经到球季中后段才被换掉。那还有那一年还有另一个就是红人队的 Brian Price， 他在球队打了18场比赛之后就被换掉。那一年红人队开季超烂，然后他就被炒掉。但我觉得这跟 Girardi 不太一样，因为很多总教练真的是在球季一开始或者是球季最尾声，然后被炒掉。
尾声我觉得最合理啊。
对啊，就是
还有那种球队一打完这个球季就直接炒掉。
对，这种也有。对，但真的到 Joe Girardi 跟 Mike Matheny 这样中间的这种，真的是比较少这样子。那以前其实比较多的球季中的换人，这几年真的比较少，像1987年到2010年。这个23年间有81个球季中间的一个总教练换人其实这个数量还蛮多的。那到近年来是真的比较少。那为什么要换这个总教练？其实基本上就是因为费城人他们开季的战绩不好嘛。Girardi 被炒的时候，他们战绩是22胜29败。你说跟他们季前大刀阔斧那个补强，然后跟他们想要宣誓进入季后赛这个决心比起来，
落差太大了，
太大。这个预期的落差，
你说5成其实都不好了。
对啊。对啊，5成，
其实我觉得5成都不算很好。
大家要想之前 Gabe Kapler 他被炒鱿鱼的时候，他那2个赛季在费城人，他都是5成的胜率，
就差不多就是5成。
第一年80胜82败，
就是就差1胜而已。
第2年真的2019年就真的是在点上81胜81败，所以这个就像你讲的，5成胜率是费城人管理团队老板没办法接受的事情。那更何况是22胜29败。已经跟大都会队拉开了超过10场的差距嘞，球季才打1/3，
我觉得其实就
举白旗，
对，就几乎已经追不上了。
那你就只能拼外卡嘛。那我们现在都知道有没有得到那个就是保送直接进分区的这个系列赛，其实我觉得是有差别的，就是联盟的前2名是可以直接保送进去到分区的这个系列赛的，但是后面4支球队都要打这个第一轮这样子，就是最一开始的第一轮啊，所以这是有差别的。但现在看起来，费城人在球季开始的这2个月挖的坑，已经要让他们感觉就是要挑战后面的名次了。
但他们会在季中换，代表他们觉得还可以拼啊。就这个蛀牙，这样讲 Girardi 是蛀牙不好，但是至少就是你有问题，你觉得有问题的地方，你先拔掉。
对，我觉得他们想要就是挽救这个赛季到说，不要沦落到连外卡机会都没有。
对，因为如果他觉得其实也没那么差，或是我可以让 Joe Girardi 继续打，因为反正他就今年合约就结束嘛。
对，
我就让你合约到期，我就让你走。可是他们显然觉得说还有得救了，
对，
不然不会换的。
对，因为他们就是我觉得要踩一个刹车，不要让球队继续沉沦下去。那你说 Girardi 真的是一个这么大的问题吗？真的是执教能力有问题吗？或者是他真的搞不太清楚状况吗？我也不觉得是这样。或许有些球迷，有些费城球迷对他的牛棚调度，或者是他比较 fiery 的那种性格，对球员比较直来直往这种性格有一点意见，但我觉得其实你看球季开始到现在，没有太多这种负面的新闻。
最大原因就是你输的时候，你就会把那个错误放大了。
对啊，如果赢球比较多或者5成胜率的话，这些问题可能就不会存在。就是球迷抱怨Girardi的事情，
他就是问题他就忽略。因为我觉得总教练没有差那么多啊。
老实讲，真的没有差那么多。而且Girardi老实讲， 你看他前几年在当球评的时候，他也接纳了很多新的观念。
对，说真的，他会犯的错，其他总教练我觉得也会犯啊。
对啊，所以总结他在费城人留下132胜141败的战绩，4成86的胜率，其实跟 Gabe Kapler 没有差到多少吧，对不对？那当然 Gabe Kapler 比起他是一个算是更先进、更进步派的教练，
你年轻很多，
年轻也很多。对，可是我是不觉得他们两人在执教功力上有差距那么大，而且你更别提 Gabe Kapler， 大家不知道还记不记得，他前2年在费城人，就是2018-19在费城人的时候，不是有一次还要叫牛棚投手进来叫错人吗？
哦，对对对，他有一些比较菜鸟的错误。
然后大家那时候就批评他说啊，这是太菜了，然后搞不清楚状况，然后什么费城人又做了错误的决定。结果现在人家到巨人队战绩带出来之后，哇，好棒的总教练呢，真的是太厉害了，真的是天才。结果他进来之后也跟那些球员处不好，就是这个就是把关，你刚刚讲的把关的问题。然后我觉得巴比方谈那个例子是真的总教练的失职，还有他掌控不了整个休息区，最后造成整个球队的彻底的失败。
不过这个跟人有关的事情，我觉得其实你在雇佣这个人的时候，其实我觉得很难指导。就是像说你接到一个新公司，老板在你面试的时候讲的都很好，他也觉得你没问题，对。可是一进来就跟某些人都不对盘，那你这个工作你也做不下去。
但那个案例就是比较极端，但后面我觉得很多总教练的更换，可能我觉得都是政治责任的意义比较大，没有说是真的是因为这个总教练他已经 lose touch of the game， 或者是他真的掌控不了休息区。我觉得 Joe Girardi 这个案例至少不是这样，我觉得真的是他负起政治责任的一个表现。
而且他那么有经验，我觉得你说他真的完全没有什么就是 nonsense， 很多这种调度，我觉得也不到这种程度吧。而且他的确有犯错，可是这个犯错的频率跟你其他教练，我觉得不会差距很大。其他教练也会犯错啊，
对啊。而且 Girardi 他是拿过年度最佳总教练，而且他也拿过世界大赛冠军，
出发吧！
而且他也获得了洋基队其实不少次的续约嘛。
而且他第一年带兵，我记得就拿最佳总教练，
就是在2006年在佛罗里达马林鱼队的时候，
第一年就拿最佳总教练，代表他其实蛮有 sense 的。
而且我觉得最不容易的是，他从08年带到17年，带洋基带10年。我觉得你能当一个总教练，在同一支球队待10年，代表什么？你有
可以直接进入名人堂，
你也没有那么夸张，但是至少是受到信任。
洋基我觉得最难，洋基的位置最难做。
他代表他能 handle 纽约的媒体，而且他能够管控住这些休息室里面的大明星。然后其实他在带兵那几年，洋基其实大部分时间也都是有竞争力的嘛，对不对？
洋基一直都有竞争力，
只是到2016年，
洋基很少没有竞争力的。
对，但14到16年那3年战绩确实比较差一点，对，但就是至少他已经证明说他能够在纽约执教10年的时间，所以我不觉得这是一个他教练执教本身能力的问题。
找他来就告诉大家说他是要打造一支强队的嘛，这个教练有带领强队的经验啊，对，他知道怎么赢。
我觉得费城人叫他来，跟今年纽约大都会找 Buck Showalter， 还有教士队找 Bob Melvin 来，我觉得是异曲同工之妙，
完全一样的逻辑，
完全一样的逻辑，一样的概念。
Bob Melvin 有带过冠军队吗？好像没有，
还没有。
Showalter
也还没有，都还没有。可是
重新计算中。右转，靠右，然后右转。右转，继续执行。 重新计算中。右转。路线计算中。前方右转，右转。我们已到达了目的地。让我们开始吧。
Welcome to the MLB Game of the Week pregame show. We are getting you ready for Blue Jays at Royals. A sticky day in Kansas City. Pretty typical of the summertime. KC needs to wake up their bats if they want to avoid a sweep at home. Of their last 13 games. Hey everyone, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm Sierra Santos. She is Jamie Hirsch. This is the finale of a 3-game set, and Jay's pitching has been unscathed in KC. We're going to chat with one of the members of that staff coming up. We're going to ask him about his favorite YouTube video, which, by the way, it involves a dog.
Yeah, so who doesn't like dogs? Stay tuned. You're going to want to see this video. It's awesome.
All right, so Toronto, though, shut out the Royals. 8-0 on Monday. 7-zip yesterday. They're looking to pitch their way to their third consecutive shutout for just the second time in franchise history.
And it's been a minute since that happened. The last time was all the way back in 1983. Here's a fun fact for you. Not one of the current Jays on the roster was even born then. So they're looking to make some history, and the Royals, meanwhile, are trying to avoid making the wrong kind of history. Yep. It's been a tough go for KC. They've got the worst record in the majors. They're on pace for a franchise record 111 losses, but maybe today's the day they turn things around, Sierra. We can only hope for Royals.
I've got a good feeling about it.
Okay.
I told you this earlier. I got
did say that.
All right, some things you need to know about MLB's Game of the Week live on YouTube. Our game is streaming live all over the globe. The best part is it's free. After today, we're going to have 9 more games during the regular season, so be sure to subscribe to the MLB YouTube channel to join the over 3.5 million fans that enjoy our MLB content. Click the bell icon to receive notifications on upcoming games, and YouTube TV subscribers can stream live in an MLB pop-up channel as well as in 4K for 4K Plus subscribers. But for now, let's take a look at last night's matchup between the Blue Jays and Royals.
继续执行。
But now Matt Chapman with runners in second and third. See, the infield is kind of
前方
halfway
左
for the
转。
Royals right now. And it's not going to matter. Smoked into left, a base hit.
左转。
Kirk comes in to score. Espinal getting the wave. He'll come in to score, and it is 2-0 Blue Jays.
Colin Snyder comes in to pitch for the 26th time this year.
And the pitch to Tapia is lined to left center field, and this ball's going to split the outfielders and get to the fence. Espinal hits third. He's getting the wave home. And there will be no throw. An RBI double for Tapia makes it a 3-0 game. Here it comes.
靠右，然
And
后
it's
右
ball
转。
4 to force in a run. The third consecutive walk issued by Kansas City pitchers to the backstop. Zimmer coming home, and he'll score.
右转。
Well hit ball to deep right. And it's going to be over the head of Merrifield and up against the fence. It's a 2-run double for Teoscar Hernandez to extend the lead to 7-0.
Now, Sierra, you mentioned it. The Jays have been one of the hottest teams in baseball, going 11-2 in their last 13. So here's the lineup they're sending out today with Mr. Leadoff George Springer. He's 4th all-time with 50 leadoff homers in his career. Zach Collins, by the way, was actually called up yesterday to replace Danny Jansen, who's out with a broken hand. Collins will be behind home plate and batting 8th. But these bats are hot right now. The Jays are averaging more than 7 runs per game over their last 13, Sierra.
Yeah, Bo Bichette reached base 5 times last night. He walked in 3 of those. I'm not complaining he's on my fantasy team. Blue Jays, they're 3rd in the AL in batting average, slugging percentage, and on-base percentage. So not a bad mix to be in. All right, Whit Merrifield leading off and playing right for the Royals, playing in his 525th consecutive game. That's the longest active streak in all of baseball. Andrew Benintendi batting 2nd. He's 8th in the American League in batting average. Bobby Witt Jr., the rookie, he's been getting hot. His last 24 games, 15 extra base hits, 18 RBI, and an 826 OPS. Now, Salvador Perez, he's DHing today. He has a 236 on-base percentage, which is the lowest among qualified hitters. When you look at Salvi and Vladdy, who were tied in last year in home runs, you kind of wonder if there's something going on. I know he had the thumb sprain, but
Well, I was reading that he actually just recently reached out to his old hitting coach, Terry Bradshaw, for some advice, and he just said, believe in yourself, trust your hands. Ended up helping him spark a little bit of offense over the weekend, but, I mean, obviously getting shut out in back-to-back games, bats have been very quiet for Casey, so we'll see.
He also has one of the highest chase rates in all of baseball, second only to Javier Baez. All right, let's kick it over to the guys in Kansas City. Scott Braun, Yonder Alonso, take it away.
You know who I have with me here? It is the mayor, Yonder Alonso, right? Hey,
I mean,
we go park to park, and I mean this in the best way. I just tag along because the combos are off the charts before the game.
Yeah, we kind of do that, and it's funny because I can talk in Spanish, I can talk to the American guys, I can, maybe a little Japanese, whatnot,
Hey, he can do it all. You can do it all. I'm sure you can pick up the language pretty easily because also you've known some of the players that we come across for a long time, like Bo Bichette. We go up to him, and what did you say?
Oh man, he actually told me, he's like, remember when we were 12 years old and I was hitting it, and you said to me, hey, keep that swing's gonna play. But even then, Gurriel Jr., Tapia, Chapman, he came up as a rookie, so I've known him for a long time. I mean, there's just so many guys. Bobby Witt, futures game guy. There's so many guys that we're so excited about, especially a team like Toronto, who's playing very, very good baseball.
Yeah, I was going to say, all of the guys you mentioned we'll see today, obviously, as we're calling this game. I mean, we had so much fun this morning, then I get back up to the press box, and I'm like, wait, we have a game to call, too.
That's right.
Not like we had a party, but as far as what we're seeing on the field right now, it's been a party for the Blue Jays. They've won 11 of 13. They're one of the forces, especially on offense for years, I think, but now, pitching-wise,
they're
very
pitching.
impressive.
They're pitching well, but I think also with me is the one-run games, and the reason you do that is not only by pitching and defense, but having your glue guys, right? I think Kirk should be an all-star behind the plate this year for the American League. Tapia has done it. Phenomenal job. Love that trade. And of course, what can you say about Matt Chapman, right? Montoya, the manager, said he's already one of my favorite ones. Past 12 games, he's been absolutely crushing it. I'm just happy to see them all being healthy and performing at a high level.
Yeah, they're dancing. They're ready to go in this one as the Blue Jays are thinking sweep. We're going to talk to Alek Manoah, who's a Cy Young candidate at the moment. We will have fun and barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Teaser. See you soon.
Best hair out of any booth in baseball. All right, let's take a look at the pitching matchup. Yusei Kikuchi took a loss to the Twins last Friday, but before that, he was 2-0 with a 2.36 ERA in his previous 5 starts. Brady Singer has a 4.15 ERA, also looking for a bounce back after giving up 7 runs with 3 homers in his last outing against the Astros.
Time for a poll question. Which star player will have the most total bases in this game? Vlad Jr., Sal Perez, George Springer, or Bobby Witt Jr.? Go ahead and submit your vote, and we'll share results later in the show. Ballpark Cam taking us inside the K. You see Bo Bichette getting ready to go. Jay's closer, by the way, Jordan Romano, is going to join us in a moment with you on what's been working so well for his hometown team, and also which of his favorite colognes he's rocking today. He goes deep
I need to
into
know.
details.
I need to know.
Stick around.
Hey baseball fans, live Major League Baseball games are back on YouTube. You'll be able to watch select live games throughout the regular season on YouTube free of charge. No fees or sign-up required.
继续执
Here's how to
行。
find and watch the live games from your smart TV, computer, and phone. To watch from your smart TV, launch the YouTube app and search for MLB. Select the MLB channel and click the live game. To watch from your computer, go to youtube.com and search for MLB. This will take you to the MLB YouTube channel, where the featured game will be playing live. To watch from a phone, open the YouTube app and search for MLB. Select the MLB channel and the live game will be the first video you'll see. These games will only be available on YouTube, so make sure you don't miss out. If you are logged into your YouTube account, set a reminder by selecting the game on the MLB YouTube channel and pressing Set Reminder. You'll receive a notification when the live game starts. Watch MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube at youtube.com/MLB.
Bro, I'm gonna need you to save me one of those. We're getting you all warmed up for the MLB Game of the Week. This is the pregame show. Welcome on back. We are stoked to have this next guest on the show, Jordan Romano. You already set a new Blue Jays record by converting 31 consecutive save opportunities, but you came into last night's game, non-save situation, pitch a scoreless ninth. You guys have pitched back-to-back shutouts for the first time since last July. How much do you guys feed off of each other and want to keep it going?
Yeah, definitely. You know, when the offense is rolling how it is, you know, step up and do our part too. So I think the past two games you kind of seen that. You know, the boys been hitting and the pitchers really wanted to throw up zeros too.
You guys have had such lopsided wins lately that you actually haven't pitched all that much. So I know last night was the first time you had pitched in a week. So what was that like for you to go so long between appearances? How do you stay sharp?
Yeah, so when you go that long, you're always thinking like, you know, do I still have it? You know, it's been a week, you know, do I still got it? But no, it was, you know, it's always nice to get a little break, you know, during the season. Being kind of a leverage guy in the bullpen, you never know like, how much you're going to pitch. You could be pitching a lot, you could be pitching not a lot. So I kind of use this time to kind of work over my delivery a little bit and fine-tune some things. But yeah, yesterday felt great. You know, we got a W, so it's all good.
All right, we're going non-baseball. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right, we did a deep dive, like serious journalistic investigation. You rotate between 3 different colognes based on how you're feeling and playing. Which colognes are they, and which mood is each one dedicated to?
Yeah, so, you know, I got the Creed. Really, it's like an expensive cologne, and I kind of use that when, you know, the boys just, we're feeling good, we're rolling, you know, spray some of that on, everyone's feeling good. So that's, the Creed is kind of when we're rolling. And then I have a cologne, it's called the Bullet. And that's when you're feeling dangerous. You know, you got to go out there, you got to do something, you got to prove something. So that's the Bullet. And then there's another one, it's the Joe Malone. It's kind of like the in-between. You know, you're not feeling dangerous, you're not rolling, you're just kind of here, you're present. So that's when the Joe Malone comes in. So those are the 3 moods, I guess.
Okay, one question, which Creed? Because I do know that cologne is expensive. I have bought it before.
It's the all gold bottle. So it's like the really like bougie one.
Whoa. Okay, and do you allow your teammates to share?
Oh yeah. So I would give it to the whole team, but it's mostly bullpen guys. You know, I'll ask the guys if they need a spray, like how you feeling? Do you need the bullet today? You know, so it's mostly the bullpen guys, but I'm open to share with everyone.
Is it Creed today? You guys are rolling. What's the one today?
Oh, yeah, it's Creed.
Okay.
Creed for everyone today.
I appreciate that. And I like that you have 3 different on rotation. I only wear 1 perfume since I was 13 years old, and I have ruined it for every ex-boyfriend that I have ever dated. Chanel Coco Mademoiselle. Can't get it out.
Yeah, can't get it out of your mind.
Consistent, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jordan, you grew up just outside of Toronto. Now you play for your hometown team. What does that mean to you to every day put on those Jays threads?
Yeah, you know, I'm really grateful for it. Grew up, you know, me and the family, huge Blue Jays fans. So, you know, I watched a lot of games growing up too, just at the Rogers Center, and now kind of being able to play there, yeah, it's special. You know, my parents come to almost every game. Brothers and sisters come out, so yeah, it's a pretty special feeling.
And because you are a Canadian, I have to ask, are you a hockey fan as well? Did you grow up playing hockey? I work in hockey as well, so that's why I'm asking.
She's our hockey girl.
Locked in.
Yeah, big time hockey fan, big fan of the Leafs. Yeah, I grew up playing. I stopped when I was 17. It was kind of like baseball or hockey, and I was always just a little bit better at baseball, so I decided to go with baseball.
You're center? What was your position?
When I played like high level, I was defense because I was a little slow, and then I dropped down to a lower level, and then I was center then.
Okay. All right, this is YouTube, so we have to ask you about your favorite YouTube video. Let's go ahead and roll it. Okay.
Oh, he's not done.
No, it's not over. Okay, so tell us why this ranks at the top for you. We're dog gals. We're assuming that you're a dog guy. We also got to know, do you got pups at home?
Yeah, I do actually. I have a Doberman named Otto. You know, really love dogs. Love dogs all my life, and I watch a lot of YouTube. But when I found that video, it made me laugh. So I watched it every now and then. Always gives me a good laugh.
Well, thank you so much for the time, and good luck today and going forward. I know you're in the conversation for possible All-Star appearance, so great work so far, and thanks again for the time here today.
靠右
All right, thanks for having me on.
然后使用右边的出口。
It's time now for our creator spotlight, and if you're a sneakerhead, you may want to pay attention. We've got Foot Doctor Zach in the
使
house.
用右
His
边
channel
的
does
出口。
reviews on sneakers from the unique perspective of a foot doctor. His favorite squad is the Pirates, and his favorite memory is that wild 2013 NL wildcard game between the Reds and the Buccos. So
左
let's
转，
welcome in the man himself, Foot Doctor Zach Thomas. Zach, we are getting set for the Blue Jays and Royals here on YouTube. Just a ton of great young talent on the field in this matchup. So who's a player in this game that you would pay the most money to watch play?
I'd say probably Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I think with each game, especially in the early summer, he's kind of getting stronger and stronger. So it could be interesting come midsummer if he stays injury-free.
The Blue Jays are one of 4 AL East teams currently sitting in a playoff spot. We know it's early, okay? But how many teams do you think the AL East gets in?
I think the safe answer is 3, but I think if the Red Sox can get and kind of keep momentum, I think then it's pretty easy to say you could get a stacked, AL East in the playoffs. But right now, I'd say hedge my bet with 3.
That's probably the safe
继
bet.
续
But can you
执行。
imagine 4 in the post? I mean, that would just be madness, and we are here for it. Okay, we mentioned you're a Pirates guy. Your favorite memory is that 2013 NL wildcard game between the Reds and Pirates. So what's the best memory that you have of that game?
前方
I just
左
remember I
转，
was up in the high bleachers for that one. I was up in the nosebleeds, and when Johnny Cueto dropped the ball after we kept chanting his name, the stadium got so loud I could actually feel the concrete vibrating underneath of you. It was like one of those moments like you really felt like you actually did something for the team, like you were actually part of the win. So that was incredible.
Okay, so your channel is called Foot Doctor Zach, but you don't necessarily give medical advice on it, even though I asked you for some free medical advice before we started this interview. You give sneaker reviews. How did you come up with the idea for this channel? Because it is a really cool concept.
Well, being a foot doctor, sometimes your day isn't as exciting as you'd want it to be, and I got into this, because I was really into sneaker technology back in high school and college when I was playing tennis, actually. And I kind of found I was arguing with a patient one time because they were having pain and they wouldn't stop wearing a certain shoe. So I finally bought it and cut it open to show them what was going on. And I said, I should just throw this up on YouTube. And it took off from there. And it's just a really fun way to kind of be creative with my job.
How much does the kind of shoes affect your overall well-being, your back, your legs?
前方右
How
转，
much do you see a result from that as far as what kind of shoes you're wearing?
Yeah, I mean, not every shoe is good for every body, for sure.
右
Some
转
people love a hard foam type shoe. Some people like more of a soft foam type shoe. And it really depends on your foot, and that's why it's hard to give recommendations for individual people, because one person might have a great
旅程
experience
还
in
不
one
错
shoe
呢
and the next person might hate it. And so there's so many little intricacies in shoes. So yeah, for sure. A lot of times just people wearing out their shoes. They're just wearing them way past what they should be. And that's usually what's getting people into trouble. But a lot of it is, wrong match for sure.
So we know that you have fantastic medical advice, but we're also here for your sneaker advice as well. And we're trying to impress you here. We're both rocking some new kicks that we're excited about. I don't know what you think of them, so I want to put you on the spot and ask for a couple sneaker reviews. Let's start with Sierra, because hers are so sweet. They're custom made. Tell us about them, Sierra, and then have Zach give us his thoughts.
Okay, so I ordered these on the Nike website, and I got my name put on them. Apparently, you can only get 5 letters. Thankfully, my name has just 5 letters. So that's what I went with. And I was like, oh man, these are gonna look so money. But I was looking for a fun shoe. I don't really know what the little gold piece is. I think it's a toothbrush, not really sure. What do you think about them?
Yeah, I'd have to get another look at that. It's a little medallion, but I do love the customization. I mean, Air Force Ones are something like they're just timeless, right? I think there's over 2,000 different variations of the Air Force One. But usually it's the real simple design that usually becomes iconic. And I mean, look at the Air Force One. I mean, I wouldn't lace them up for the NBA Finals, but just look how iconic they are. And they just look great, black and white. I mean, it's awesome.
All right. Yeah, I love them. They're so great.
I get a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
She's kind.
11.
Okay, now I'm nervous. Okay, mine I just got for a birthday present. Be kind, because I love them. They're the Jordan 3 is the women's, obviously. They're called Dark Mocha, a little leopard on there, I think, and like the baby pink. I don't know. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, that's like the Neapolitan ice cream colorway.
Yes, that's what I said. Yes.
Yeah, actually, I have my pair right there. I love the Jordan 3. I mean, I think the best thing about the Jordan 3 is the elephant print on them. But what I like, I think, is a sneakerhead. What I like is that was the first iteration of Nike Air where you could actually see it. That was the first visible Air you could see in a Nike shoe. And now look, all these years later, it's just everywhere. I mean, Nike Air, like seeing a little air bubble in the shoe, it's as recognizable as a McDonald's arch. So you just saw what, you can just see what that little design tweak does, and then boom.
Oh man. Well, hey,
I give you a 10 out of 10.
I give you a 10 out of 10. Oh,
Thank
this
you.
is
开始
great.
上路吧。
Cheated though, Dr. Zach. We're not seeing your shoes. We are not seeing what you're wearing
He's
right
in
now.
flip-flops. No.
Here, I got these ones. I got the LeBrons. They're cut in half. I can't really wear them. So.
Fair enough. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate the advice, and thank you for giving us great reviews.
Thank you so much for having me.
Zach Greinke with his tiniest teammate right there. He's on the IL with the right flexor strain. We are still getting you ready for Blue Jays at Royals coming up in just a bit.
没事，我会再计算一条新的路线。
Welcome to this little interstate squabble, otherwise known as the 1985 World Series. John Tudor delivers and he swings and misses. And that's hit down the line in left field, and the Cardinals lead it 4-2. Well, this is a Cy Young performance tonight for Saberhagen. 2-2, got him. The Kansas City Royals rebound and beat the Cardinals. That game. The Cardinals lead the World Series 3 games
重新计算中，
Danny Jackson has just been brilliant. And Kansas City
请 U 型转弯。
Will Squibber to the right side. Worrell races over to cover. The throw doesn't get him. Looks like he's out. Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it. To Motley for the title. The Kansas City Royals are the 19 champions.
Welcome back to the MLB Game of the Week pregame show. Yusei Kikuchi about to take the hill. He had allowed just 4 homers over his first 9 starts up until his last outing. The Royals, on the other hand, have won just 3 games since May 18th. Kansas City sitting at the bottom of the league with a 17-37 record. But today, they could turn it all around. Fans watching have their choice of listening experience. Moments before first pitch, simply click on the gear icon in your player, choose audio tracks, and select either the primary broadcast or the Royals radio call. Each is available on your favorite device once the game is underway. Let's dive into the numbers on this matchup using StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. For that, we bring in our friend Sarah Langs from MLB.com. Sarah, we all know how potent the Jays lineup is. One thing you hear all the time is how good hitters are and how patient they are at the plate, but that's not necessarily the case with one of Toronto's young sluggers. Tell us why.
Absolutely. So Bo Bichette actually has the 4th highest first pitch swing rate in the majors this year. And usually when you hear that, opposite of patience, you kind of wonder, okay, is there going to be success there? But if you take a look at what Bo Bichette has done, when he puts the first pitch in play, he has been very, very successful. As you can see, he's hitting .325 with a .575 slugging percentage when he does put that first pitch into play. So the aggressiveness is really working for him, and it's really elevating his game this year. This is the most he's ever swung at the first pitch, but it's really working for him. And just overall, he's hitting the ball harder than he ever has before. And after a little bit of a slow start, he's really finding his groove. All of his underlying stats say that he is going to continue having a really great season.
Okay, so be aggressive, find success. I like it. Sarah, last week we talked about Bobby Witt's elite speed. And lately the Royals phenom has been making some strides, though, at the plate. What are the numbers telling us?
He has. So again, that speed is elite. We could talk about it forever, but I want Royals fans to know some other great stuff about Bobby Witt Jr. So as we mentioned last week, a little bit of a slow start in April. But if you take a look at what he's done since, every number that really looks at the quality of the swings he's taking with that chase rate and the quality of contact he's making indicate that he's doing a lot better. So you can see that expected slugging percentage way up, expected batting average also up, and his barrel rate. So what are those telling us? That's saying that he's making much better contact. Those are looking at the exit velocity and the launch angle of everything that he's doing. So if you look here, I mean, even you can see a lot better just in terms of barreling up the ball, which is something that I'm always looking for. When you barrel up the ball, it is usually an extra base hit, and that's what Royals fans want to see. And with that speed that we mentioned, every double could end up a triple with a guy like this. So he's really blooming into that dynamic player that made him a top prospect all the way up through the minors.
Yeah, when he turns on the wheels, he does not slow down. As always, thanks so much for your time, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Time now for our picks to click. Let's make some predictions on our game coming up shortly at Kauffman Stadium. All right, Jamie, here we go. Jays player to record most total bases.
I am going to go with Bo Bichette. Batting second, okay. He likes to rack up the bases, right? In fact, his last 13 games, he's hitting .333 with 9 extra base hits and 11 runs scored. He's my pick to click. How about you?
All right, I'm going with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vladdy, 11 hits in his last 13 games. 6 of those were homers. He likes the long ball. He also has better splits away from Rogers Center.
That's weird.
That actually surprised me. When I was looking into it, it surprised me. He is hitting .284 away from home.
Yeah, and I think the reason that was maybe masked a little bit last year is because they weren't playing at Rogers Center, right? And now that they're back in Toronto, Jays fans are getting a little troubled by the slower start at home. They want to cheer him on. They love the guy.
I mean, they've had 15 runs on 22 hits in these first 2 games of this series. Yeah. All right, let's get to the Royals player to record most extra bases.
All right, I got to look at my lineup here because it's a tough one. This was a tough one, but I ended up going with Bobby Witt Jr., another shortstop. I'm all about the shortstops, right? Last 24 games, 15 extra base hits. So seems like he's on a pretty good run. He also has 18 ribbies in that time. So he's my pick.
All right, I'm going to go with Andrew Benintendi simply because he has the 8th best average in the American League this season. But as I said, you know, we're mostly watching the pitching matchup here because the Blue Jays could go for their 3rd consecutive shutout, which would be just the 2nd time in franchise history.
And the first since 1983. So it's been a long time. We'll see. By the way, check out our poll results, and thanks to all of you who participated. And I guess the people have spoken. Vladdy, 52% likely to have the most total bases today. You called it, Sierra.
Thanks for making me look smart, guys.
Yeah, the people agree. They've spoken, and they believe the road splits are real. He's going to light it up today.
Let's get you out to Kauffman Stadium for the MLB Game of the Week. Scott and Yonder are standing by. Enjoy the game, everyone.
前锋左转，左转。
Barbecue, sports, the plaza. This city knows what's up. And waterfalls flowing inside this ballpark. Great sports town. Nice day for some hardball. Surging squad north of the border trying to make it Sweep City on a Wednesday afternoon. This is the game of the week. Live on YouTube, the Toronto Blue Jays battle the Kansas City Royals at Kauffman Stadium in Missouri. Scott Braun along with Yonder Alonso. Hello to the YouTube audience around the globe. And I like this ballpark. Retro vibes here. The waterfalls are sick.
Yeah, you know, it's still got that old school feel, but they've renovated it. They've done a phenomenal job. And you know, as a player, you always love coming here.
You do?
I loved it.
Okay.
You know, the clubhouse amenities are amazing. The batting cages, very important. The batting cages need to be spectacular. And that batter's box there, one of the best.
Perfect. And this guy knows what he's talking about, okay? He knows a good batting cage, and I think eventually so will Bobby Witt Jr. He's just a rookie. He's a couple months into his season, and he's being asked to do a lot, Yonder, which you know, former first-round pick. Here comes a Bobby Witt with a lot more pop in the 15-game stretch in mid-May that we saw, but then kind of sinking back down. What is it like to go through ups and downs as a rook?
Yeah, it's extremely difficult, but you know, I think for him, every day is a learning curve. And talking to Matheny, he said, hey, he has the great attitude to go with it. He understands what's going on. Look, I think for me, he's got to be able to hit lefties. If you're going to make a living in the big leagues, you got to be able to do those things. But with that being said, look, he leads all rookies in pretty much every category. I know he's had 2 hits in his last 36 at-bats. There's a lot of pressure, but there's one guy that can get out of it, and that's Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, we showed the struggles against lefties, although good news for him, he's going up against a righty starter at least today, so that works. And then there are the Toronto Blue Jays. First off, I know, and we've documented this in the past, you like movies?
I love movies, right? Yeah, what type of movies, though?
Well, I'm going to kick it back pretty old school for you, and the reason that I'm doing that is because Vladdy Guerrero Jr., super stud on the planet at the plate, said on March 17th, last year, this is the trailer, get ready for the movie, and the beginning of the movie took a little time for the plot to thicken, but now they've won 11 of 13, and we're going way back with this flick. Like, none of these guys were born to even probably know what black and white movies are all about.
Oh, absolutely. Look, and I think it starts, obviously, when you look at the great players like Bo Bichette, Jansen doing his thing, and Guerrero doing his thing as well. But they're hitting with runners on, and that is so hard to do in this game. And the glue guys are killing it. Kirk, with the last 12 games, 467, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs. Tapia, a huge addition to the Toronto Blue Jays. Chapman, he's back healthy. His last 10 games, 361 and doing his thing. But with Vladdy, We know who he is. Finished runner-up in the American League MVP race. Led the majors in runs and total bases and the AL on base percentage and slugging. But right now on the road, he is getting hot. And I think the reasons for that is because he's hitting the ball to right center. He loves to hit. His on-base percentage is booming right now. And guess what? His exit velocity is at the top of the American League. This guy can absolutely match. He was born with a bat in his hands. And I love everything this guy is doing. He is the whole movie. He is the bad boys feel to it. And I love what he's doing right now at the plate.
He's on one of those home run binges again lately, too. He already is up to 4 home runs in the month of June. And if you go back to 2020, he is tops in baseball in homers. And Salvador Perez, who's in the lineup for Kansas City today, is number 4 on that list. You know what else we can add on for Toronto? The riches that it comes to with their catching department. Oh my gosh, there's so much to get to. And that's why we have Brett Dolan. We need you, Brett. Tell us more.
Indeed, Scott, the Toronto Blue Jays have the best catching duo in the big leagues. It's been fun to debate who's even had the better month, Danny Jansen or Alejandro Kirk. As you take a look at the numbers where this catching duo ranks, it's extremely impressive. Entering today, they're first or second in almost every single category. They're number 1 in OPS. How about batting average? They're first. Homers second. On-base percentage second. And slugging percentage first. Now, more on Jansen in a moment. He had found his home run stroke. Alejandro Kirk was catching yesterday. All he did was pick up 4 more hits. Could we be talking about Kirk as the catcher in the All-Star game? He's been a lot of fun to watch. The Mexico native yesterday swinging the bat, collecting hits to all portions of the park here at Kauffman Stadium. Ho-hum, just another 4-hit game for Alejandro Kirk. Now, Danny Jansen, back to him. He did take a pitch off his hand on Monday night, leading to a fracture. He is on the IL. Now, Charlie Montoyo told us today, best case scenario, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Zach Collins was called up from the minors rather than Gabriel Moreno, who MLB Pipeline has as the number 4 prospect in all of minor league baseball. So certainly an embarrassment of riches. Who knows if that might lead to a trade a little bit down the road here in this major league season, or whether these Blue Jays will ride this production all season long. But Scott, it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, that's a position where it's tough to find offense, except north of the border. But we're in Kansas City, Missouri for the Blue Jays and the Royals, coming at you with lineups and first pitch time coming at you free on YouTube.
左。
Almost game time. This is the game of the week live on YouTube. Scott Braun, Yonder Alonso, and Brett Dolan. Ready, are you?
I'm ready. Let's do this. Hey man, what you gonna do? Batman gonna come for you.
We are streaming live globally for free on YouTube. 9 more games to go after this one. We have another Blue Jays game later on in the month of June.
In the 6.
Yes, in the 6. Over 3.6 million fans subscribe to this MLB YouTube channel and YouTube TV customers. I actually met a couple today who made sure to bring up how pleased they were with YouTube TV. You can stream it live in an MLB pop-up channel as well as 4K. Kauffman Stadium. We're here in real life. Scott Braun and Yonder Alonso running through the visiting starting 9 for the Toronto Blue Jays. Charlie Montoyo, great chat with him this morning. He was playing a little bit of salsa before we walked into the office, and he's rolling with George Springer, Bo Bichette. Vladdy Jr. is going to DH today. Espinal at second. Tapia is back in the lineup for a second consecutive day. Gurriel's in left. He sat yesterday. Chapman at the hot corner. Collins will catch with Danny Jansen placed on the injured list yesterday, and Cavan Biggio is going to handle first base. George Springer's riding an 18-game on-base streak. He has 50 career leadoff homers. That is 4th most all-time behind Craig Biggio, Fonzie Soriano. Ricky Henderson's way up there, but 7 already this season, which matches a season franchise record for the Toronto Blue Jays. Just trying to emphasize the point that this is a special human being at the leadoff position, and he has, I think, sort of transformed the position to a more powerful spot.
Yeah, no question about it. And look for him to be swinging first pitch. He's a guy that loves to be very aggressive, especially with heaters. He likes to sit on pitches at times, but there's no question about it. This is one of the premier center fielders, or I guess outfielders in the game, and he is doing it in the postseason as well.
Brady Singer's 3rd year in the bigs. The 4.15 ERA comes in just over 30 innings, and he actually took a pause at one point this season. They sent him down to the minor leagues, comes back up, and he has a 3rd pitch that he's implementing more, which they've been stressing to him over the past couple years. What else should we know?
Yeah, you know, and I think with him, Brady Singer, the 25-year-old right-hander, sometimes when they sent you down, it's not all negative. There's a lot of positive in that. I think this guy is understanding one of the biggest competitors with the Royals pitching staff. Fastball command needs to be there. If he can do that, look, we know he lives in the corners. He will need help from the umpire, but what he's learned most in AAA is that changeup. He's got a really good feel for it, and you know what? He's falling in love with it.
That's a good thing. How are changeups to face?
Oh, they're not fun at all.
Not fun.
Pull the string on you.
And you need to be a 3-pitch guy, if possible, as a starter. So let's roll out those 3. StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. It's sinker, which you mentioned. There was a command issue in spring training. They fixed that. Slider, changeup.
Yeah, and you know, I think for him, it's obviously a sinker slider, but hitters right now are understanding that he's just a 2-pitch guy. So if he can continue to throw that changeup for strikes and just show it, even to the right-handers and the left-handers, good things will happen. Watch out right here, first pitch. He could be swinging.
It takes a strike inside corner, and there is the sinker from Brady Singer. Singer's last 2 starts, 10 earned runs over 10 2/3. Friday was really his first big flub as a start this year. 7 runs, 8 hits, 3 homers, 5 innings in a 10-3 loss to Houston. He's ahead of Springer. Live action on YouTube today. Pleased to be with you on a Sunday, Wednesday afternoon. Nice sunshine going here for us.
It is. It's a beautiful day.
Dealt with some weather the past couple weeks, so I'm liking what I'm seeing. 1-2. Pulled to Witt Jr. Shows off the gun that he has for out number 1.
That was a really nice play right there. Showing off the arm, showing off, but all that happens with his feet. He gets set, he gets behind the baseball, understanding he's got a really good arm. As soon as George Springer hit it, there was no chance he was going to beat it out.
If you're into blue, today is your day as well. Royals in those baby blue city connects, which I love. That misses wide to Bo Bichette.
Bo Bichette with the tweeners today. A little old school. He's been hot, man. Last 13 games, over 300. Loves to slug. He's been slugging much better, especially on the road. Homered in the opener.
3 walks yesterday, Yonder, and he had a 3-walk game about a week ago. Those were both career highs for him. He's a free swinger. He likes to get after it. Got under that one, wasn't pleased about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's caught by the second baseman, Nicky Lopez.
Got a good pitch to hit right there, 2-0. Just pulled off of it a little bit.
靠右，
See that left
然后
shoulder
使
right there,
用
just
右
up
边的
right
出
there,
口。
just leaked a little bit, but yeah, that's, you know, I can live with that. 2-0, that good swing right there, I'll
使
live
用
with it.
右边的
I
出
know
口。
that's not what he wanted to do, but it's a lot different than me late or maybe rolling over a pitch. 2-0, we can live with that.
You heard him right after.
Oh,
right after
got a
he
good
made
pitch.
contact. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you what he said, but he wasn't pleased.
Ball, it's down.
Glad he just pulled back on a bunt. This team doesn't shift either, by the way. No. The Royals. About as little as any team in baseball. Big cut and a miss from Vladdy, and then even less so for the Royals defense against right-handed hitters.
It's a 1-1 count, very important count right here. Ha! If he's getting that pitch right there, good things are going to happen. Vladdy ain't too happy about that. You know, just walking away. He doesn't need to say anything to the umpire. He just needs to just kind of walk away to let him know I wasn't too pleased with that. But now it puts him in a you know, it's a difference right there of being 2-1 or 1-2. That can determine the whole at bat.
继续执行。
And we talked about it earlier. You know, Brady Singer needs to be able to get those pitches in order for him to go deep into this game.
And he fans Vladdy Jr. Yeah, that one called strike speaks to him having the highest called strike percentage in baseball. A clean 1-2-3 first for Brady Singer. 12 pitches. Let's get to the home half. Say something wild, Yonder. It's time to get crazy when you've been shut out in back-to-back games at home. Just saying, hey, the Royals players are thinking about it. Today's the day. Mike Matheny, manager for this Kansas City club, said the same thing. He'll go with Merrifield. Benintendi's in there again. Witt Jr. is batting third. He leads all rookies in the extra base hit category. Salvi's DHing so that the rookie MJ Melendez can catch. Carlos Santana's at first. Hot corner Emmanuel Rivera. Michael A. Taylor's hitting eighth. And Nicky Lopez in the 9-hole. Yusei Kikuchi on the mound, the left-hander with the 3.91 ERA on the season. And the stuff-wise, it's no-hit stuff if it all comes together.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, look, he's got a really good fastball, the 30-year-old left-hander. He can spin the baseball, too, and I think at times he gets in trouble with that. Talking to Montoya, the manager for the Blue Jays, he says, hey, he can go a whole game just throwing fastballs because it's got pep, it's got kind of life right at the end of that when it gets to you as a hitter. So look for these guys to hit a lot of foul balls because the spin is real.
Two-time All-Star Whit Merrifield. And he went through on that one, tipped off the bat. 524 consecutive starts for Whit Merrifield, by far the most in baseball. Last time he sat, June 24th, 2018. That was a while ago.
Yeah, he's going to play. And you know what I love that? He likes to play. He wants to play.
No matter what. Like, he had his struggles in the first month of the season.
No excuses.
He was going to play through them.
Yep.
There's the franchise record mark. He's on it. And that's a foul ball.
Yeah, he's a guy that he loves to play every day. He loves to wear the uniform every day. Look, it's a long streak. It's a hard streak. You need so much luck. You need so much desire. I mean, there's days where, you know, you just don't have it. But with him, it's the consistency is there. He's the same player every day. And you know what I love about him? The mindset. He understands who he is and how important he is to his ball club.
Great attitude. Takes one wide from Kikuchi. Jay's starter coming off a Friday loss against Minnesota. 4 runs, 3 homers, 4 2/3. popped up. Shallow right, Tapia moving in. He's not going to get there. What's your scouting report on Mr. Kikuchi?
Well, the 30-year left-hander loves to spin the baseball. That's one thing he likes to do. He likes to use the top of the zone, using all 4 quadrants. Commanding the slider early is going to be key for him. He likes it a lot. He likes that split change as well. But for me, it's about late in the count, surprising guys with heaters up in the zone. If he can do those things, he's going to have a good start.
And Merrifield strikes out.
That's that slider right there. He loves it. It's a harder one. He has 2 different types of shapes to that. He throws the hard one with 2 strikes that kind of looks like a fastball that kind of gets into your hands for a right-hander, and then he's got the get me over one to steal a strike. Right there, that's a good pitch. That's where you want to miss. You want to be able to miss down and in. You don't want to be able to miss up and away, because that's a good pitch to hit for a hitter. But again, location is key for him, and determination of quality controls of pitches is very important for today's start.
Andrew Benintendi hitting .320 on the season, best on the club.
Good for Benintendi, man. He struggled a little bit early on here with Kansas City, and now he's back to his ways. Loves the way. I love the way he hits, his approach, uses all fields. He's not so much wanting to slug. He wants to be a good player. He wants to hit the ball very hard. That's his main goal. That's his key. Just get on base and use his athleticism.
As you can see, if you're thinking off speed, he's all over it.
Yeah, and the reason you hit, off speed like that is because you're able to let the ball travel. Okay, you're not wanting to spin off the baseball. You're not wanting to roll over on balls. He understands his strength, and that's gap to gap. You get so much information right here on this 3-0 take.
All 4.
Not close. What's the info?
Well, you want to know. You want to see a fastball. You want to get the spin. You understand you're taking. So at that time, I love the 3-0 takes when they would give it to me early on in the game, because you wanted to understand the life that the pitcher had in the first inning. Remember, in the first inning, the pitcher, he's trying to get his routine, his groove on as well. But maybe later on, in that 4th, 5th inning, Benintendi might come up with a man on 2nd and 3rd, and now he's seen all his pitches. So good take, good walk, and we move on.
左转
And let your Rookie of the Year candidate try and do some damage. 28 runs batted in for Bobby Witt Jr.
左转
Tops on the club. And the live chat is very active right now on your screen. Like the MLB channel actually said, do we think Bobby Witt can be Rookie of the Year?
Oh, yeah. He's leading pretty much all categories in the American League and rookie stats. But just what a player, what a person. He's got all the tools in the world. The mindset is right. Matheny he raves about him all morning, about how special this guy is going to be, how special he is right now to this ball club.
Well raised is what you hear often too. Big league dad.
There's a situation right now. Kikuchi's throwing 5 balls in a row. As a young player, you hear a lot of, if I'm struggling, I want to be able to swing early in the count. I'm interested to see what type of swing he would have here on this 2-0. It's got to be a cookie. The only way you got to go if it's a cookie.
And it's not.
Time out! That's a good visit right there by Zach Collins.
While we have a moment, the pitch arsenal for Yusei Kikuchi. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Yeah, he likes that 4-seamer a lot. He's going to use his cutter at times just to show it, but his fastball slider command is going to be key for him. I love his fastball. I think his fastball is the way to go. You show the slider, you show the changeup, but for him, his fastball command at all times.
He's changed his pitch mix with Toronto. They have stressed to him more of that heater, less of that cutter, and that's what we're seeing.
It gets on you. What I mean by that is that 95 feels like 97, 98. You got to be on top of it. That's why he has really good spin to it. He kind of short arms it too, so as a hitter, it kind of gets on you. So not only does it have spin, does it have life, but he short arms it, so it's harder to see. Yeah, that's a late swing right there, 3-1. That's actually a hitter's count where you say to yourself, hey, this guy's got some good life on his fastball. I either want to be early on, so it's either a foul ball or something hit to left center. I want to be on time with this because this is my count. I want to be able to do damage in these counts. Now you're 3-2. Anything can come 3-2.
All 4.
There's another miss. Back-to-back walks for KC.
Now early on, Kikuchi's laboring with his command. He's trying to slow things down a little bit. He's rushing at times. That's why you're seeing him miss more on the inner part of the plate than the outer part of the plate. It's because he's a little too early and too quick with it.
The big man, Salvi, DH today. 2015 World Series MVP, 7-time All-Star, 5 Gold Gloves, 4 Silver Slugger awards. Probably the most popular baseball player in this city since George Brett.
Absolutely. I talked to him early on today and said, how hard has it been for you? And he says, he was actually asking me, like, how hard was it for you as well when you had losing ball clubs or you guys weren't playing as well? And I said, patience. And he said, absolutely. I think patience is key here, especially the young guys, understanding that, hey, we've won before. The attitude is winning every single day. But at all times, we got to learn from our mistakes and we got to get better every single day. The work habit is there. We are going to work. We are going to work very hard. But we also need to have a little bit of patience and understanding that the guys are going to come and the guys are going to produce. What a great attitude, huh? I mean, you see him every day. He's smiling. You wouldn't even notice what's going on, outside that clubhouse. But he's a great sport. He's a great guy. He's one of the most liked. And by the way, the guy always smells good, man. Every time I would go hit, I was like, man, what's going on, man?
Kikuchi fans him, but I was going to ask you about that at some point. He actually wears women's perfume during games. Dates back to when Alcides Escobar was his teammate. He said, spray some here for good luck. He liked it. He said, hey, I'm close to the umpire all day. Ordered a dozen boxes of the scent, and the umps thank him for smelling so nice every single day. The other thing I think about as he strikes out is last year Salvi had the year of his life in the big leagues. 48 homers, matched Vladdy Jr. for tops in baseball. And this was a catcher who was a top 3 slugger in the sport, and it's been a little rougher for him. There's been some injuries. I think even some things maybe that haven't been listed, like the lower half, which is always a problem for catchers because it gets worked. Where last year he was really implementing more of his lower half, and it took his pop into the next level. So something to keep in mind with him. He did homer in back-to-back games this past weekend. He's got help now.
Yep.
MJ Melendez.
Oh, what an absolute stud this kid is. I love everything about this kid. He's such an athlete. Not only is he a catcher, he's a good runner. He can play some right field. They're working on him at third base. Love everything about this kid. I talked to Pete Grifol before the game. He's the bench coach for Mike Matheny, and he was raving about this kid. He said how smart he is. His IQ level is extremely high. The future is bright for the Royals. The future is bright for MJ Melendez. Heads up. Now he's bought himself to a hitter's count right here. 2-1. Again, we talk about hitter's counts, what you want to do. You want to make sure, he's got that spin off, so you want to make sure you're out early, right? If you get fooled by a slider, so be it. You're 2-2, and then you go to work with a 2-strike approach. But this is a count right here you want to take advantage of if you're MJ.
This is a lefty bat who's currently 9 for 23 against Southpaws. He is hitting left-handed pitching so far. I know small sample size, but good start for him. And he went for it.
Yeah, but that's a healthy hat.
Catcher's pretty tough to learn in the bigs.
Spoiling away at bats right there. That's a beautiful way of just continuing the long inning, the long at bat. Up to 27 pitches already. I mean, that's already, even if the Royals don't score right here, that's still a win. if you have Kikuchi at 27 pitches, 30 pitches, that's always, no matter what, a chance to get into that bullpen early on in this game.
You think they have a book on Melendez or what? Slider City, and now a fastball, and it could find grass. It does. And it's going to score the first run of the game. Kansas City up 1-0. Benintendi, come on down. It's a double by MJ Melendez. Right spot, right time.
Yeah, he stayed on that ball right there on that fastball after getting a lot of sliders, but it was a good pitch. It was a good 2 strikes. He understood that, hey, they were giving him a lot of sliders, but he picked up that fastball. Didn't try to do too much. He stayed real short with it, and guess what? When you get into a long at-bat like that, the baseball gods will reward you, and they sure did for MJ Melendez.
Nice base running to get to second. There's Chapman. Knew it wasn't going to be close enough. Also, wasn't able to find it, to locate it. And most importantly for all the KC fans watching right now, they are on the board for the first time in this series. Exit velocity. Did you hear it, or do you want to guess it?
I'll guess it.
Okay.
I mean, probably what, 70 miles an hour off the bat?
66. Very good.
I was close.
Very good.
Yeah. I've hit a few of those. I know what they
feel good though, don't they, when they go like that?
And you know what's the best? When you break your bat and you die a hero. That bat dies a hero. It's a base hit. It's an RBI. It's a 2-out RBI, which are huge. But right now, you know, Kikuchi's laboring. He needs to make sure that, you know, he gets quicker outs. That's a good slider right there. That's a get me over slider. That's a good pitch. He hasn't been able to land that early on for strikes. If he can continue that and throw a few of those, that would be good news for the Blue Jays.
Carlos Santana.
How about Carlos
trying to find it? I mean, the career is incredible. Think about the plate discipline for Carlos. Catching up to the fastball yet this year.
Yeah, All-Star and Silver Slugger in 2019. Still has a really good eye. I mean, he'll give you some good at-bats. Like this 1-1 pitch right there. If it's not there, he ain't going. And it's like the umpires understand that too. You know, it's like they might give that to a rookie. They might give that to somebody else. But Santana has created this repetition of and rep around the league where, hey, he does have a good eye. And if it's not there, I'm not swinging.
So the ump basically doesn't have to work. Just go off.
Well,
what
wouldn't necessarily say that, but
as he does go after one that still was in the zone at 96, shaking his head.
Yeah, he wants that pitch back. It was up in the zone on that good four seamer, but again, he's got life, so a lot of these hitters are always going to be underneath that baseball. Kikuchi has ways to go about this.
There's some good back and forth in the chat right now. Blue Jays channel going. That was our first run given up since Sunday afternoon. It's Wednesday, by the way. Yeah, this team can pitch.
Yeah.
Look at all the changeups. He only uses it against right-handed hitters. Interesting sequencing though, as he's using some of his secondary stuff quite a bit early on in this action, which I know you were emphasizing. Fastball, let's go, but the fastball command isn't quite there for him at the moment, so he's searching for it.
Yeah, the fastball command is just not there right now. They're trying to get somebody going right now in the Blue Jays bullpen. Because you can tell he's laboring, he's trying to find it, he's a little too quick, he's trying to make the adjustment as well on the mound. That's why they're going with that changeup, trying to slow him down a little bit. When you do those things, it's a lot easier to slow a pitcher down when you're going to the changeup rather than slider, because the slider you want to get out in front, you want to spin off of that, but with the changeup you kind of have to stay back on that to throw a good changeup. So good job of Zach Collins right there, reading that and understanding that and trying to make an adjustment and work with Kikuchi.
Giving it a shot at second. 2 down, home first. KC up 1-0.
靠左
Kikuchi
然后左转
about to fire his 36th pitch of the first inning.
靠右
Blue Jays lost their Cy Young Award winner from last year, Robbie Ray. He signs with Seattle, but they added the man on the mound right now, along with Kevin Gausman, who has
我们
been
已到达了旅途的终点
Kikuchi signed for 3 years, $36 million.
Yeah, and you know what? This may be his last hitter. I feel like they're not gonna really tour around that much. When you throw 40 pitches, close to 40 pitches in an inning, I don't necessarily see him go a little bit longer than this if he continues to labor here in this inning.
So this could be it, but if he does get through Emmanuel Rivera, would you send him back out for the second and hope that maybe things work out in between?
I think you have to. And with that being said, I know you've shut down the Royals for the past couple days, but you kind of have to and hopefully extend this game for him. That's a good slider right there. Good slider cutter right there. Bearing down at the hands of the hitter. You think you're going to go as a hitter, you're saying, oh, that's going to be a good pitch. That's a heater type feel to it, and all of a sudden it just drops out of the table. Good pitch right there.
And that is on the ground, patch short. Emmanuel Rivera will drive in 2 more for KC and make it 3-0 Royals. Slow roller gets through, the inning continues.
Yeah, not trying to do too much, just simplifying the approach, understanding that he's got 2 strikes with him, he's got to get shorter, eliminate that leg kick a little bit, and understanding up the middle is your friend. There's nothing better than getting a base hit up the middle, especially with 2 outs, especially with bags loaded. Just a good piece of hitting right there, and not enough for Bichette.
He plates the rookies, which Junior and Melendez. Santana over to third. They're on the corners now for Michael A. Taylor. To use a baseball term, to say the Royals were due for a first inning like this, understatement.
Yeah, Matheny knew it too, right?
Yeah.
Talk to him early on, and you can just see it in his eyes. Hey, today is the day. Today is the day.
They were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position in this series, and now already 2 for 3 today.
准备好了，我们
This
出
is a
发吧。
17-37 team, worst record in Major League Baseball at the moment, taking on a Blue Jays team that is surging. 33 up, 22 down, and they've won 11 of 13 games. Look at the first inning issues for KC that they're working on.
They've been one of the worst, but you know, today so far, they're definitely the aggressor.
Yusei Kikuchi now at 42 pitches in the first. All-star last year. Sub 3.5 ERA in the first half, and then he did experience a bit of a slide in the second half of the season.
Heads up. How about this stadium, huh? How about this place right now?
I told you in the open, I'm a big
beautiful
fan.
summer day game right now. I mean, there's nothing better, huh? Grab yourself a hot dog and enjoy the day. Or maybe some barbecue wings. I like some barbecue.
What are you
wings.
hinting at?
I don't know. I like
Place
some
in order.
barbecue wings, man. Wings, some ribs. I mean, this is the spot. If you're gonna do it, this is the spot, Scotty.
You took down notes from our driver last night.
Oh yeah, man. I asked him. I was like, hey, what are the spots?
What about this spot? I mean, Kikuchi really needed this call.
Yeah, but you know what? When you're belaboring like this, it's hard for the umpire to get a feel of your zone. You know, just as much as the pitcher wants that zone as well, it's hard for the umpire to work with him. I think he's done right here. Gotta go get him.
He's going to be thinking about that one pitch, though. That was in the zone. That was a strike. That was strike 3.
45 pitches, though.
Yeah, and that's the most for any starting pitcher in a first inning this season. And that's going to do it for Yusei Kikuchi. Bags full of Royals again. Santana, Rivera, and Taylor on. Kikuchi out. Here comes Trent Thornton.
都设置好了，我们出发吧。
A 45-pitch first from Yusei Kikuchi, and he can't finish off the inning. Records just 2 outs. He's responsible for a bases-loaded situation. 3 runners on for Kansas City, 3 runs in. Bottom 1, Scott Braun and Yonder Alonso, along with Brett Dolan down on the field. We'll hear from Brett in just a few. Kauffman Stadium, sunshiny day. Trent Thornton in next for Toronto. Used to be a starter, so he could pick up multiple innings here. Last outing was Monday in this series. 1 inning, a hit, a strikeout, no runs in that 8-0 win for Toronto.
Trent Thornton, 28-year-old, 4-seam slider, curve, sinker. Likes to use the 4-seam though more to left-handers and look for that slider. He's got a really good slider, good spin.
Nicky Lopez on a hop, tough one, and Bo Bichette is gonna get him.
Wow. What an absolute play, man.
Wow. Tough hop, snap throw. Bo knows they needed that. 3-0 Royals after 1.
靠左，然后使用左边的出口。使用左边的出口。
Long bottom of the first, 3 runs come across for KC. It could have been much worse for Toronto if not for their stud shortstop, Bo Bichette. What a play on a tough hop.
Yeah, very soft hands right there, understanding the infield. We saw him early on at 9 a.m. catching ground balls and really getting a feel for that infield, and that day game infield. It's completely different than at night. So it's good by him. Obviously, we understand what type of shortstop and what type of range he's got.
He's a gamer.
Oh, he's a gamer, right? You know, Scott, you're a gamer too, man.
We're not all gamers.
Not all of them.
No.
Not all of them.
You're definitely a gamer. Hey, Santiago Espinal is 5 for 9 in this series, including a home run that he cranked in game 1, a 2-run shot to left field. Pulled a changeup. There's a fastball from Brady Singer. Was hanging out for a while.
Yeah, look for Toronto's hitters to potentially get a groove on here and take a pitch early on, but go swinging afterwards.
In the chat, Dodger Films, often with us on a weekly basis, thread a prediction, and there were a number of those coming across before the game started. Oh, what a grab at third by Rivera. Quick reaction, and he's there. Vacuum mode.
What a play. First reaction right there, first step. The ball had some spin on it right there, but it's that first step, boom. Understanding what's happening right there. He's got a top spinner, line drive. I'll call it the hot corner for a reason.
That's for the speed of the game. That's a little more real. I mean, that came at Rivera at 106 miles an hour.
I played first base for like touchdowns at third base. I wanted 0 buttons. Zero. No chance.
Scary position.
I was, when I was playing Boston at the time I played it. We had these big guys, Hanley Ramirez, Xander Bogaerts. I mean, just naturally and all these right-handed power studs. I wanted 0 part. Made about 3 errors that game. 1 was fielding, 2. I mean, I looked like Dorn from Major League. Couldn't get in front of the baseball. I was terrified. I told the open days after that, listen, Boga, I just don't think that I'm ready to play third base. Just keep me on first.
The caffeinated position. You better be awake.
Oh yeah, Bomel said, yeah, we saw what happened. We understand. 3 hours later, you're never playing third base again. He said, see you later.
Back to first, young man, and worry about your hitting as
That's
well.
right. Pretty much. I had no chance.
Yeah, that'll distract you. That's what makes Rivera so good and Chapman on the other end. One of the best in the biz for a while now. Bobo to Tapia. And gets a good hold of this one.
He knows
right field. He's all over it.
Oh, that ball was absolutely destroyed.
Splashdown for Tapia. It's 3-1. His second of the season. Not a big power bat, but that went 441 feet.
Oh, he can hit them, especially when they're hanging sliders like that. He put an absolute charge to it. Came behind the baseball. He's been swinging a hot bat the past 10 games. I love everything about this swing. Oh my goodness, what an absolute bomb. He knew it as soon as he hit it, and that's right. Go put on that jacket. Oh, lean on that thing. Woo. That ball is gone in any stadium in the big leagues. Not too many guys go on top of that fountain right there.
Like I spoke to Yonder for 15 minutes today. Look at me now, I'm calling you every day.
Oh man.
You played with him.
Oh, he's amazing, man. He's, guys just gravitate to him. He's a great guy. Loves to play. Very professional guy, quiet guy, but if you get to know him, man, he is unbelievable. One of the best guys out of the Dominican Republic. Pretty much plays with his hair on fire. He's got some really, really good flow.
靠右，
But a good player
然后
nonetheless.
右转。
Singer gets one of those signature calls. First strike 3 on Gurriel, his second K of the day, and still all smiles from Tapia. I meant he's not a big power. He's a great singles contact guy. With big strength. There's the pitch, so it's a little bit wide to me.
Wide. That was a good slider, though. But hey, look, Brady needs those pitches. He needs those pitches to be able to go deeper into this game.
We keep it real with the strike zone, right?
Yeah, we do, man. At times, it can be a little bit dicey. But how about Matt Chapman, though? I was hanging out with him in the cages like old times. My buddy.
Did you toss a few to him?
Toss a few to him. I had a nice little right? You saw me afterwards. I was like, man, I was just hanging out with Chapman.
Like, what did you just do?
Yeah, I was in the cage with my boys. Guillermo Martinez, hitting coach for the Toronto Blue Jays, played with him in high school. Great guy. He's done a phenomenal job, though.
As for Witt, and the throw off balance is funny. An impressive play from both shortstops, and Tapia goes long, 441 feet. Jays trailing 3-1 mid-2. I think we're going to have some offense today.
右，然后使用右边的出口。使用右边的出口。
3-1 Royals. We're in the bottom of the second, and this is a Toronto team that almost made the postseason. Last year, we're looking at the final standings in 2021, just one game away from the Red Sox and the Yankees. They needed one of them to fall on the final day of the season. They both rallied, and that's two really 90-plus win ball clubs that in this year's game would have a better chance as we add a wild card team this year. And actually, if you look at the AL East, the four teams besides Baltimore are all in playoff position at the moment. So, first poll question, how many AL East teams will make the postseason? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to help them and say, don't pick one. That's going to be wrong. So eliminate that, and then Yanni, you pick.
Yeah, I'm going with 4.
You think 4?
Yeah, I think I'm going with 4. I think all 4 teams. And you know what?
我们
I think
终
they
于
did
来
this,
到了。
and I'm glad they did this because all 4 teams should be in the postseason. You know, it's all about getting the best teams, and you know, I think they certainly deserved it. And you know, I think all 4 of these guys will be in there. 4 of these teams.
Where I'm looking is the AL Central. I'm wondering if the Twins are legit and can stay healthy enough. Twins and White Sox play some softer opponents in their division.
Yep.
That could be where it becomes 3 instead of 4 in the AL East. Floater, shallow center, Springer, not going to get there. That'll splash down to base hit for Whit Merrifield. Top of the order again here in the second for the Royals after 9 batted in the first.
Yeah, you know, we talk about this stadium being very big, especially in the outfield, but you know, it's not so much the slugging, you know, trying to hit home runs here in the stadium. It's the actual bloops that fall. You get a lot of bloops in here because the outfielders are playing much deeper, especially the center fielder. He's got to play much deeper. He's got so much more ground to cover. But with that being said, yeah, that's a win for the home team right there. You know, look how deep he is. There's not much you can do about that. I mean, you can try, but there's so much ground to cover, and as an outfielder, you gotta have to take your, you know, right now they're actually playing a little bit more in. They're not really. Oh, here we go. They're not really respecting so much the power of Benintendi in center and in left. They're kind of playing a little bit more shallower. But in right, Raimel Tapia, he's more into his regular dimensions of it. But again, it's understanding your hitter, understanding what they're trying to do, and hopefully making sure you cover all grounds.
He got it.
That's a good pitch
Got
right
him.
there.
On 3 pitches.
We talked about Horn. He likes to absolutely spin the baseball. His best pitch for me, I think, is his slider. That one was a good one.
He's a high spin guy with the breaking ball.
About Witt in that play right there he made on Chapman. He made that look very, very easy, going to his left, showing that cannon. I mean, this guy can absolutely do it all. He's just such a special player, and you know, talking to him earlier on, how big of he is, you know, his size. He's just such a big kid for a shortstop.
And he can clock the baseball, and does on a hop to Gurriel. 2 on for KC. A couple base hits in the second.
Absolute rocket. Left his bat at 107 miles an hour. You know, he got a fastball count right there, and he did not miss it. He was very short. Good to see for him. He's been, you know, grinding away his at-bats, but that's just part of his rookie year. You go through stages like that. Right there now, he's having himself a good day and a walk and an absolute rocket to left field.
And you hear that click off the bat.
It sounded different.
It does.
Ah! You know, Scotty, I used to hit him like that.
Oh, I know.
Day, but
hey, how about in college?
That was different, though.
But how about in college when I'm calling your games at University of Miami when you're in your prime, in college prime, you're I'm saying your college prime. You know what I'm saying. Your best year, your junior year, you're hitting them to the parking lot or the parking deck. And that's coming off, what was the sounds?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That was dangerous, was my point. That's what I was getting.
I mean, right now, that ball that he hit, that sounded just different. It exploded off his bat.
I love that.
Oh, man. Mike Tozer, the hitting coach, assistant hitting coach for the Kansas City Royals, just absolutely raves about this kid. We talked about him, how much everybody loves this kid, his attitude, the way he goes about it, and you know, Salvi Perez loves him too. I think he's going to have a huge, huge career here with Kansas City.
There he is. Kansas City pretty solid with their top 3 picks in the past 15 or so years. Alex Gordon, number 2 overall in 2005. There's a strikeout. Salvi goes down.
Yeah, once again, that slider right there, he's got it. He feels it. You know, he's got a good feel for it right now, and certainly is throwing it in any count.
A little more chase again this year from Salvi. Always a free swinger, but I mean, last year he was just so dialed in with the hitter's eye as well on what pitches to smash.
Yeah.
前锋左转，左转，
Popped up. There's Gurriel to retire Melendez. A scoreless second from Trent Thornton. It's 3-1 KC through 2.
继续执行。靠左，然后左转，左转，靠右。
Crack open the third, it's 3-1. Royals looking to avoid the sweep against Toronto because Alex Manoah shut him down yesterday. 11th overall pick back in 2019, second fastest in that draft to make it to the bigs. Strong rookie year now as
然
a
后使
sophomore.
用右边
See
的
what
出
he's
口。
doing, including if you watched him last night working that two-seamer. I was loving it, and it is time for
使
Miami
用
talk.
右边的出口。
I'm Ron Yonder Alonso and Alec Manoah. Alec, how you
左
doing
转。
today? Saw you earlier and said, hey, you got all Miami guys, so you're in good hands right now. How's everything?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Really
man.
good. Tell us about yesterday. So we're showing the line right now, 90 pitches, 6 clean, 3 walks, 4 Ks. How did it feel?
Felt good. Was kind of excited to go out for that 7th inning, but they kind of had a long half. Charlie banged it, but felt really good. Was able to attack the zone and just let that offense do what they do.
We're watching Zach Collins lead off here in the 3rd inning against Brady Singer. And by the way, I'll mix this in.
Another Miami guy.
Yeah. For the YouTube chat right now, questions that you have for Alec Manoah, let us know. I'll relay them over if this inning gets long enough for us. And we're watching some of your work from yesterday. Hey, tell me about that two-seamer. I heard you picked some things up from Kevin Gossman.
Yeah, so I actually used that front hip
没事，我
two-seamer
会
a
再
little
计
bit
算一
last
条
year.
新的路
I
线。
don't know, but for some reason we kind of got away from it. And you know, talking with guys, you know, I think it was a couple weeks ago in Anaheim, when he was just talking about, you know, trying to find something that can kind of get lefties to not lean over the plate. And one of the things he was like, you know, hey, maybe start front hipping that sinker. And I was like, yeah, I felt really comfortable, you know, doing it last year. And then that following bullpen, I basically threw, I think, 25 pitches and like 18 of them were front hip sinkers, just trying to work on getting that pitch. And then it's kind of cool, you know, you go, you work on something in the bullpen and then it transfers over to the game. It's pretty awesome to watch. I love the ability of making adjustments, especially to freeze left-handed hitters with that two-seamer. I mean, I've always felt like if you freeze guys with that two-seamer, everything else is in play, right? That change-up, that slider. But talk to me a little bit about Jose Berrios, man. He's one of your boys. He's one of those guys that you've learned a lot. Similar mechanics, obviously. Yep. You're probably 3 or 4 inches a little bigger than him, but how much fun has he been to you and having another Latin guy in that starting rotation that can, you know, you can be like his boys with?
No, 100%. He's get up. Get up!
Hit.
That Collins
Get out of
giving
here.
it a ride, right center.
That's for the 305, baby. Attaboy Z-boy!
Well, he talked about it earlier today.
He's been great for me, man. You know, just being able to learn from him and being able to pick his brain. And, you know, like you said, a lot of our stuff is very similar. You know, so especially being able to focus, you know, when he's out there on the mound and what he's doing to hitters, especially if I'm going to face that lineup, you know, a couple days later, and just seeing what he's doing, how he's attacking them, and you know, he's really good with that front hip sinker to lefties as well, and backdooring it to righties. So kind of just visualizing, you know, the placement of it, where it needs to start. Get through there.
It does.
Boy, bitch.
Biggio with a base hit.
Nice, man. I gotta ask you a little bit of non-baseball talk, man. But what's the most the food that you miss the most when you're out there in Toronto, man?
Oh my gosh.
Croquetas, rice and beans.
We can talk about that all day.
What's your go-to though? What's your go-to?
Arroz, frijoles. The one I miss the most is pollo empanizado.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got my girlfriend at home. You know, she makes a hell of a rice and beans, and we got her working on the pollo empanizado. But yeah, before every start, you know, if we're at home, she makes me the rice and the beans and the chicken con la cebollita and to make me feel at home a little bit.
Con la cebollita.
Yeah.
Yonder was already hungry now.
Oh man, I'm like, man, I'm starving.
Unleashed the menu. Now, I hear,
time for lunch, huh?
Yeah, it is. Very much so. I hear Grandma also brings it with the hair game. We've got evidence as that one is flying up for...
He just missed that.
Merrifield, yeah, he just missed it, and into the glove for the first out here in the 3rd, and that gave me enough time to cue up the hair. Here's your mom coming through. This on May 8th in Cleveland, so we're showing video. I don't know if you can see, but Grandma next to Mom, some purple in the hair, right? Like,
然后右转。
Yeah, no, it's purple.
Nice.
It's purple. Yeah, she's
右转。
her favorite color is purple, man, and she loves it, and she loves wearing, you know, the hair and dyeing her hair, and she loves wearing purple and the purple nails and everything, you know. So we just call her the Purple Lady.
Alec, does she watch every game?
Yeah, she does. She watches every game that she has access to.
So is she watching this right now, this interview we're having?
I guarantee you I'm probably going to have a text message. And
all right, well, you got to tell her something in Spanish then. Might as well.
Abuelita, mándame más chocolate. She's got, every grandma has little things that get the third.
Oh, he's going.
He's up. That boy.
All that leads to is that secondary right there. That secondary is what allows him to go to third base, man. That's a really good base running right there. And that's winning baseball right there, man. First to third, secondary, doing the right things, especially with one out.
Yeah.
Bo Bichette gets one through the right side.
Hey, so. how much fun has it been watching this guy up to bat right now, man?
Oh, man, he's just a blessing to be able to have a front row seat every night, I mean, last year it was kind of like every time he stepped in the box, he was breaking some sort of record or doing something, crazy. And this year's kind of the same thing, and he's just driving balls and he's working hard and he's doing everything he can to help this team win, man. He's fun to watch.
There's always something when you watch these great ones, man, that people don't know, right? And we don't talk about as much as how smart he is of a hitter, man. He makes adjustments. He's setting up people at a young age. I mean, we're talking about this guy's not even 25 yet. Is that something that you see on a consistent basis?
Yeah, 100%. And he's just so humble too. I think there's a lot of times like talking to him, and he'll even ask me like, "Hey, what would you throw me?" And I tell him, I'm like, man, why are you worried about that? You can hit anything. So he understands the game's hard. He understands it's not easy. He understands he needs to work really hard every day, and he goes out there and he does that, and just stays within himself and tries to do anything that he can to help the team win.
Counts 2-1 to Vladdy Jr. Spending some time with Alek Manoah.
Curveball right here.
Yeah?
Why not?
That'd be great.
While we wait for it, questions flowing from the YouTube chat right now. Jordan Hebert, what pitcher did Alek look up to growing up?
Oh, there's the slider. He didn't hang it though.
继续执行.
I gotta go with Verlander, man. I just think, yeah, he's a horse. Just the way that he goes out there and he grinds, and he'll start the game 93, 94, and
then he's 98, 99.
It's the 8th inning and like 104 pitches, and he's at 98, 99. And just vintage Verlander. Like me and my brother used to love watching him. That's a run.
Yes, it is.
Attaboy.
Just the play to first. And the Jays chipping into this advantage for KC. Now coming in and tying up the ball game at 3.
But yeah, just watching him. I was always a hitter growing up, so Barry Bonds was always my favorite guy to watch. But definitely Verlander, in his Detroit days, and he's just a dog, man. Just going out there, he doesn't care. And the game got harder, he got even harder. He got even tougher. So just super fun to watch him, and got to watch him live, a few weeks back. So that was a really cool experience for me.
Good time to be on with us too. Your team plays catch up quickly. It was 3-0 Royals, a home run in the second from Tapia, and then Collins with the homer, the RBI ground out just now from Guerrero, and catch up is complete already. Fresh ball game here in the top of the third. Another one coming in from the YouTube crowd. Yeah.
Before that YouTube crowd, what's the best thing about Alek is that he raves and loves the big moments, right? Where early on in his career he was like, I ain't scared of facing the top end of this American League East lineups. I welcome this. Is that something that you kind of brought up from your mom growing up, or just the city where you're from, or where does that come from?
Yeah, man, I think it's just the culture that I grew up in, and kind of just had to grind for everything. So now that I have a chance to be here, I'm not going to stray away from it. I'm going to continue to grind, continue to attack, and continue to try and do my best and represent my people and represent Miami and represent God as best as I can.
Alek, this was fun. Let's do it again sometime because your team scored.
Thanks, brother.
And
stay healthy, man.
Hey, thank you guys.
Miami mode. It's over for now, but Yonder and me are still here.
That's right.
Mid-3, tied at 3. Last of the third, tie ball game. 2 more from the Blue Jays in the previous half inning while we hung out with Alek Manoah. There were a ton of questions coming in too. And actually, can I just tell you, I think this one was probably my favorite. I just didn't get to it because we ran out of time. Miles asked, how do you feel about only being an 84 in MLB The Show, like his rating?
Ooh.
I mean, Alek Manoah at this point,
every
last year and
going
this
up.
year, he's got to be at least in my mind in the at least in the 90s, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is into right, and another knock for Kansas City. This one coming from Carlos Santana. He reaches for the second time this afternoon. Good day for offense so far.
That's an ambush fastball right there. First pitch swinging. He doesn't rarely do those things, but when you get a fastball like that, right down the middle, and especially up in the zone, you won't miss it, especially a hitter like this. Guy who's always been able to hit. He can sure hit a fastball with the best.
It's probably a guy most pitchers think they can steal a strike against.
Yeah, he goes deep into the at-bats, but, I mean, don't get it fooled. He sees a fastball like that. And interesting, too, you know, because you had a long inning, right, on defense, and most of the time, it's a thin line into trying to ambush a guy, because if it's a first pitch swinging out, then you're in the hole right now where your second guy, because your second guy then has to take after that long inning, right? So you got to give yourself a breather, but he understands himself. He understands if he gets a heater, he's not going to miss it. I learned that early on in my career, Scotty. After a long inning and you're due up first, for the most part, if you swung first pitch and you didn't get a hit, you would get back in the dugout and guys would chirp at you. Hey, man, what are you doing, man? It's part of the team. Oh, yeah.
Do you think they still
gotta
do
play
that,
for
though?
the team. Oh, yeah. You know, I think, too, these players are so much smarter. And they understand the game so much better. The analytic department has done a great job. And just in general, where our game is at right now, it's as good as it's ever been.
3-pitch punch out for Trent Thornton working the third. There's the slider.
There's that slider.
Michael A. Taylor takes a strike. Just back from the COVID
前方
IL.
右转
2 hits and a walk on Monday. He was actually the only Royal to do anything on Monday, and then sat yesterday.
右转
Connects to center, backing up Springer. He's there.
You know, we talk about this outfield having to cover so much ground, but that first step from Springer was ideal and was a perfect step. He not only goes to the side, but he kind of 3/4 his way, opens his hip, and goes and gets that pitch and makes it look very easy. Very well positioned, understanding what Thornton's trying to do with Michael A. Taylor. That's where we get with analytics, man. These players are so much smarter. These teams are so much better. They kind of put you in positions where guys understand what's happening. Like if we look at Gurriel right now in left field, he's got his stance wide open. And you don't necessarily see that, but there is a reasons for that, is because they understand he's covering the line a little bit more, and he's got to make sure that first step towards left center will be ready to go. So maybe he looks like he's playing the infield.
Lopez to short, and Bo will wait for it and make the play at first and end the inning. That's a good point, though. He's really positioning himself to make a move towards center. We can do some teaching when we have time later. This was a quick one in the third. Still 3 per side.
前方左转 左转
Let's keep the creator spotlight going. A YouTube content creator featured in the live game commentary section. And today our spotlight shines on Foot Dr. Zach. Yes, a real life foot doctor, former college athlete, laying down reviews on athletic footwear. Over 52,000 subscribers, close to 8 million views. And the channel is only about 2 years old. Welcome, Dr. Zach Thomas.
I went to a doctor like that to try to get my feet
我们已抵达
kind
了
of
目的
aligned to
地。
help my knees and my hips and all that early on in my career, but
did it work?
I didn't like it. Just didn't like it. My paws did not like it.
Maybe you went to the wrong doc. Visit Zach.
I know. I'm like watching that. I'm like, man, I wish I knew him.
Zach, message us or something.
Look at those right there.
Nice.
Crab Man. That's what we call him, the Crab Man.
Jay Melendez.
Rocket.
Tapia rocket, but into the glove of Lopez.
Good hitters line out. That was my slingo. Every time I would hit a line drive, somebody would say, good hitters line out. Good pitch there. Good little baby changeup right there. Kind of left it up. Tapia was all over it.
You saw what he did last AB, 441 feet with a blast in the second. Started the scoring for Toronto. They've scored 2 more since. 3-0 to 3-3 here in the 4th.
That's a good pitch down and away. There's not much you can do with that pitch, Gurriel. All he can do is take it and hopefully fight for the remainder of this at bat. Those are pitches, as veteran hitters and good hitters, where they take those pitches. They take the strikes that they can't handle. The guys that just come up to the league, they swing at every strike. There's, it's knowing your strength, knowing what you want to do, knowing what you want to do at the plate, and your go-tos at the plate, especially 0-0 or 1-1 early in this count. Look for him to try to maybe slide his ways, his attention to that harder part of the plate.
Spinner, and that'll fall.
That's just making an adjustment. That's just making an adjustment from that first pitch, understanding what they were trying to do to him. They're going down and away on him, so he's just gliding his way over there and setting his sights to no pull, just absolutely using the other side of the field.
Oppo single, Lourdes Gurriel.
Oh man, a lot of bloops here at Kauffman Stadiums. We talk about it's a hard place to hit home runs, but the outfielders play so deep that you get away with those.
Inside to Matt Chapman. I mean, there's so much territory to cover as we're showing you some of it. It's a big ballpark. Ball was not leaving the yard in the first month, which can be discouraging for a ball club.
Out.
Hey, let's finish up the first poll question of the day. We have a few more later, including YouTube player of the game. Let's start with how many AL East teams will make the postseason. 3 beats 2. I'm surprised 4 didn't get more love.
Yeah.
I'm a 3 guy, but
very surprised by that.
2, I don't know about 2.
No, I don't know about 2.
So,
it's
tell
either
me
3 or
who's
4.
not making the playoffs out of Yankees, Blue Jays,
Tampa,
Red Sox, Rays.
Well, I think maybe people would think the Red Sox, but they've been playing so much better. They're starting pitching as some Alex Cora. Alex Cora knows how to get his team to play. He